The Bayeux Tapestry is finally coming home to Britain, and you can see it next year with the loan of the Bayeux Tapestry to the UK confirmed. David Musgrove explains the historical significance of the embroidery's potential arrival on British soil. The Bayeux Tapestry, the near 70-meter-long, 11th century embroidery that tells the story of the Norman conquest, looks set to be finally coming to Britain. Loaned from France, in exchange for a loan of the Lewis, Chessman and the treasures of Sutton who. The embroidery is expected to be displayed in the British Museum between September 2026 and July 2027, and holds the promise of being one of the biggest historical exhibitions ever staged on these shores, rivaling the blockbuster Tutankhamun show at the British Museum in 1972. Many scholars are in agreement that the tapestry was originally made in the 11th century, not too long after the Norman conquest in 1066, in England, unlikely by English seamstresses in Canterbury. It has, however, been in Bayeux since at least the 15th century. Today, the artifact is the property of the French state. The news that British and French authorities had agreed that the tapestry would come to the UK was initially made public in January 2018, and, speaking on the 5th of May 2025, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer told Historiastra and BBC History magazine that civil servants were still working on the loan. The Bayeux Tapestry is a unique treasure, said the Prime Minister, and a symbol of the deep ties between Britain and France. The conservation and protection of it is obviously crucial, and I know that the Department for Culture, Media and Sport continues to work closely with their counterparts in France on the planned loan. The loan coincides with the temporary closure of the Bayeux Tapestry's permanent home in Normandy. The Bayeux Tapestry Museum, while it undergoes that work includes an exciting plan to add an extension to the current 17th century seminary building in which the tapestry has been housed since 1983 and is scheduled to be completed by autumn 2027. In time for the millennial commemorations of the birth of William the Conqueror. Following the announcement of the loan, the director of the British Museum, Nicholas Cullenan, added, "The Bayeux Tapestry is one of the most important and unique cultural artifacts in the world, which illustrates the deep ties between Britain and France and has fascinated people across geographies and generations. It is hard to overstate the significance of this extraordinary opportunity of displaying it at the British Museum." 3 requests were made for the Bayeux Tapestry to be loaned to Britain in the 20th century. First in 1931, for an exhibition on French art at Burlington House in London, then in 1953 for Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, and finally in 1966 on the 900th anniversary of the Battle of Hastings, when both the Victoria and Albert Museum and Westminster Abbey hoped to display the tapestry. None of the requests were granted.